Alright, another minute of combat mission Black Sea for the NATO side, the 12th minute, and it gets off to a pretty good start. You nail a tank. The ATGM goes right on target. I'll go take a look at that later. And something also exciting happens, mostly towards your American company down there. You see that tank up there bails out. You start seeing infantry contacts where there was a tank contact, and holy shit, look at that. There's a tank contact and an APC contact right the fuck on top of all these dudes. So that was unexpected for you. Fortunately, it turns out this little place here is just slightly depressed. So everything here is on a reverse slope up there. They're in a little depression. So nothing can actually see there. But you know there's a tank there. That's a pretty strong contact. And you know there's an APC there. So all of 1st Platoon A Company, as well as this tank, they're all sitting on top of another goddamn tank. So whatever this tank was trying to do, it's way too late. You can see you get a nice hit right there, straight on the hull. The commander was turned out. He was trying to reverse away. Looks like the commander and possibly the gunner get out. I doubt the driver is in very good shape. So this tank's KO'd. Definitely knocked out. And crew's bailed. So well done there. You can see you have a heat penetration using these low-end graphics, but with forensic hit decals. So 1 T90 down. So just while we're over here, you see another tank here. So this tank is the one you just knocked out and got hit over here. And there's a tank cleverly disguising itself in these woods with its turret facing back over towards your tanks where they used to be anyways. So for the record, this is where the shell landed. This is where a tank was. There was a tank here that got shot at. So this could be that tank. You lost contact with it after it popped smoke and it's now in these trees. So there's a dead tank here and a live tank here. So up here you have a tank contact sitting right here. It's a very strong contact. That's like 1 tick away from being an actual spot. As in, you know pretty much exactly where it is. You just can't physically get eyes on. So there's a tank sitting right here. And all your units were moving back and forth across this little stretch of ground here. So you got lucky. Nothing got hit. Everything is now safely on the little slope here, you can see. That tank contact is actually below, or it's not visible from any of these positions, so you're protected from it. And the other thing you have here is this APC contact, which is right in these woods here. So another thing is that you had some suspiciously immobile units for the last little while, and it turns out that 2 more vehicles have gotten completely stuck. Junkazine, with his 2nd Platoon HQ striker, is completely bogged in this little patch of woods. Immobilized, and this truck, this mortar truck, is also immobilized in this patch of woods. So I'm sorry they were even going through these woods in the first place. That's partially on me, partially on the fucking AI. But the good news is they're not on the road. But I think those 2 are the only immobilized vehicles that I haven't spotted yet, and I'll try and keep an eye out for those as the game goes on. Alright, it's the second half of the NATO turn. And man, the tension is fucking building. So you make infantry contacts down here, and shots are fired. Shots are fired for the first time by your Americans. Acting reasonably, I think I changed most of the orders down here to hunt orders instead of just move orders, because you're now making contact that you didn't know was there before. And I canceled most of the orders that would have moved across that little line of sight where you have the tank contact. So contact is made, your guys stop, grenade launchers are fired, shit happens down here, you make another tank contact. This is all happening so incredibly close. Like, this is, you couldn't have more of a knife fight if you tried. You make some more contacts, you make a BTR contact over here. Very exciting. But oh man, here. This is gonna be some shit in the next turn. It's gonna be some shit, I tell ya. So we'll go take a look at what actually happens down there. So here's kind of a broad outline. Here's a disposition of your forces. You make a spot here. That's from this team. I put them on hunt orders because they're now moving on the flanks of an enemy they didn't know was there when they got their original orders. They shoot a grenade launcher into the forest in the vicinity of that infantry contact. and you get another armored contact. So you have two tanks here, the two T-64s. They're staring down at two enemy tank contacts, and you have infantry within spitting distance of each other. And so the reason this all works, the reason that this hasn't escalated into full-blown fucking madhouse, is because of the depression here. You've got the reverse slope that's keeping your guys out of direct line of sight. So you have a full platoon of American striker infantry, two T-64s, an extra squad of American infantry against the Russians you see here. So zooming in on the actual contact itself, you can see we have a whole bunch of Russian infantry. This guy has a backpack radio. They're making their way through the woods. This guy has disposable RPG. These guys put a few shots there, land a grenade launcher, but you don't hear any screams or anything, so you don't know what, if anything, you hit. You pretty much definitely got their heads down, though, because it looks like they were on hunt orders, too. So that's this unit over here. This is 3rd Platoon. The one element of 3rd Platoon that was already in the lead. So they're looking down here. And so you got interesting tactical choices to make about this whole situation. And just down in this area of the map, in the vicinity of the tank you knocked out last turn, you see another BTR. Nothing really special. And it is spotted by these guys back here. Ace Buckeye's weapons platoon, who haven't really done much and probably might not do much in terms of shooting, but they're doing a heck of a lot of spotting. So these guys here, if they're short range HEDMs, I did get their target arcs in, so they're not going to shoot shit, they're just going to sit here and look at things. Alright, time for a quick roundup of where your shit is. Hey look, it's the Ukrainian battalion as a whole. This is everything under the Ukrainian direct command. We have 1st Company. Let me see. Nobody's bogged yet. This is... Wow, 2nd Platoon HQ is now the BTR. Okay. So this is Joseph Stalinator's old unit down here. This is Ross. He's up in these forests. Willie is getting into position in these forests too. The weapons platoon is obviously up here. So that's 1st Company, and these guys are just, you can see, you have a gunner, and a gunner. You have 3 gunners. 2nd Company is also in here. Somewhere. 2nd Company. So this is a 2nd Ukrainian company. You're in pretty good order. The Merry Marauder, I believe. No, Verdun Squire is here. The Merry Marauder is here. Verdun Squire got out in front. Somehow, pathing. Grey Hunter is here. And your weapons is here. So it's not quite your order of march, but it's something kind of resembling it. That's all happening there. The Americans, in their massive stacked units, are all along here. These are the Americans. They're starting to get a little bit strung out, but they're coming back together. 1st Platoon, a fully cohesive fighting unit who all arrived in their destination at around the same time. You got 2nd, 1st, and 3rd squads all in this tree line right across from the opposing forces. You have a Chunky Monkey and a Oldest Man T-64, each looking right down the barrel of the gun. You have 2 take contacts here, so these guys are just out of sight of each other. Some real checkpoint Charlie shit. You got PT Thighs guys down here. And the rest of 3rd Platoon is down the road still, I think. Yeah, 3rd Platoon is still strung out. But 3rd Platoon 3rd Squad and 3rd Platoon 1st Squad are on their way. I'm going to try and keep this one shorter than the last click-through kind of things I did. Just because the videos are getting long and take a long time to upload. And there's a presidential debate tonight. Hooray. So this mortar stuck. Welp. This striker stuck. Immobilized. So well, Chunky Monkey's tanks are down here. The Abrams is here. The Bulat is here. And they kind of have a vague idea that there's tanks in that direction. Well, all your HQ units. You have some grenade launcher and recoilless rifle stuff that I think has orders to go into this forest at some point. I'll have to go back and check and carry those out. Other grenade launcher stuff. The oldest man's other tanks. The Oplot is back here, and the Abrams is up here. So those are getting along nicely. And I think that about does it for big strokes. I think I haven't missed anything super important. So, that's that. Turns off to you. Some exciting things happening, and I will see you next time.